and Minerva. And, you know, props to Kaboom. They really have impressed the world stage. Just very quickly, the 12 games as AD carry, Minerva was brought on board as a support before he was moved to ADC when they realized his mechanics were better than Dan's, and Dan's is the shot caller. Right, let's move on to the last game of the day as Alliance will be taking on NaJin White Shield. Quickly to note, if NaJin White Shield wins this match, they're not only guaranteed a spot in the quarterfinals, but they will also clinch the first place seed. In order to do that, they need to take down Alliance, and Alliance are coming into this game after beating Cloud9 earlier in the day. I would say it was a fairly convincing win. However, it did take a while for Alliance to grab control of the game. Freak, what would you say to that comment?
I would say that the top 3 teams in this group are all, I think, actually pretty darn good individually and also pretty smart as well. Like, these guys kept playing each other, NaJin White Shield, Alliance, Cloud9. They would start trading games a lot back and forth. So saying, well, they had a close game against Cloud9, so they can't beat Shield, I think would be false. I think we saw Alliance playing against guys earlier, had a really good showing. So I think Alliance still definitely has what it takes. They're still smart players. They're still very good individual players. And again, we think back to last time Alliance played White Shield. Very large early game lead. No surprise, they actually picked a lot of good lane matchups. Just couldn't quite close it out from there. But again, those same tools still exist for this team.
Last time these two teams played, Shook didn't impress, gave up first blood on that Elise, if memory serves. I played Rammus earlier today. Monte Cristo, what was your take on his performance and if that's going to carry through against Shield today?
Interesting performance on Rammus. I really think that it was kind of misplayed by Cloud9. In my opinion, they had a composition that was really quite able to deal with the Rammus if they had just been able to kite it out. And as some of the casters were saying, the gank paths weren't awesome for his Rammus either. I guess I'm unconvinced. I think you can't jungle past a certain point. You just lack the damage, and then you lack damage as a team comp as well. So I'm not sold.
Yeah, and I feel like the story of that game, the tempo was really set by Wicked. He had such a huge lead on balls. I have never seen balls fall so far behind in a matchup that most people consider like a 50-50. It's Ryze versus Aurelia. So I feel like it would be really silly for Shield to give Wicked Aurelia. I mean, this guy is a monster on that champion.
Well, we'll see what he does. Picks and bans is going to be very important for both of these squads. Probably care to chime in on what some of the thought process might be going into this or the strategy as these teams come into the game.
I'm really, really curious if they're going to leave up Zed and try to give it to Shield so Froggen can counterpick it. Something along those lines. I think Zed's going to either be banned, and they'll be sad, but hopefully it's picked, and then the other mid laner gets to counterpick it and just kind of show him up on it.
Closing thoughts, Freak, before predictions?
I want to jump back on the point that you talked about Double Lift here, where basically I think it was the Rammus. Like, Shook tower dived really well on a very good tower diving jungler. He made the plays. Like, Shook was the reason that team won, and if he keeps that performance up, Alliance could win.
Well, Freak, seeing as though you feel confident.
They could win. You're transitioning into predictions.
Who will win?
I can ruin your openings as well. So yeah, we're gonna start predictions, guys. We don't need quick shot here anymore. I actually do think though that NaJin White Shield is going to win this game. They are 4-0, right? They beat Alliance last time despite a good early game lead. I think there's a chance. I'll say it's like a 60-40, but I'm going to go ahead and vote with the odds and say, yeah, NaJin White Shield.
So Freak convinced me he was voting for Alliance before going for the hit and switch. Monte Cristo, who are you picking as your winner?
Well, Trevor, as you know, I don't always predict league games, but when I do, I prefer Koreans. Stay salty, my friends. I'm taking Shield.
That was better than expected. Right. Prolly, who are you predicting to win this game and why?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Shield here. I think Alliance's best chance are getting those 1v1 kind of things and outplaying their opponents, but I think Shield's going to kind of play conservative and just outplay them in team fights.
Starting to see a trend here. 3 for NaJin White Shield. Double Lift, you are the final prediction. Who will it be and why?
I actually think Alliance is going to win for the reason that I've just really not been convinced by Shield. I know that they are 4-0 in the group so far, but to me, their wins are more the enemy team making mistakes rather than... It was really just Gorilla making all the plays. If Alliance is any smart, they'll take away Gorilla's playmaking champions, and I feel like Froggen and Wicked are playing really solid. They've been ramping up throughout the group stage.
Well, Double Lift, you do have the final word. We will find out if you are the weakest link in just a moment. The update from LOLesports.com to see if the fans agree with our analysts, and according to those numbers, 57% of you are on the side of Double Lift, saying that Alliance will pick up the win. The teams are ready, so let's head over to the caster desk to head into the game.
Thank you very much, Quickshot. It certainly has been an exciting day, full of absolutely amazing match, and it seems like absolutely ages since that crazy game one so long ago. We are on to game 6, ladies and gentlemen. It's the final game of the day. Everyone here seems to be behind Alliance, so let this game get this game underway. Starting out on that blue side is Team Alliance from the European LCS. That means starting out in the top lane is Wicked, the big Dane. Shook alongside him in the jungle, Froggen in the mid lane, Tabs as the AD carry, and Nif, of course, on support.
And on the red side is NaJin White Shield. Up top is going to be Save in the jungle, Watch. Mid, Goom, AD carry, Zephyr, and support, Gorilla.
And we've just been looking at Gorilla. We keep talking about Gorilla. The analyst desk was saying you have to ban his playmaking supports. Kaboom did it.
Who do you let him play? I mean, Kaboom banned 2 of the champions.
then he had
Did you see that Nami tidal wave?
I know, right? Exactly.
Triple Gorilla ban.
Triple Gorilla
It's going to
ban.
be Thresh banned from Alliance, I believe. And I wonder if Aurelia is going to be banned by White Shield here against Wicked.
Not only did Alliance just focus their last strategy on Aurelia by feeding Wicked versus Cloud9, but also the last time they played Shield, he had Aurelia, and they had a good mid-game lead, which they gave up from warding, but still, they had a good mid-game lead.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Pick and bans underway for the final game of the day. It is a Nidalee ban for Alliance, something honestly we think they're going to have to do throughout this tournament. Oh, a Rammus ban on Shook.
And Watch is cracking up. Watch is...
Respect ban against Shook here with the Rammus. But Nidalee, obviously against Save, you have to ban it. He can play both AP Nidalee and he can also play the standard Bruiser one. Obviously Alliance don't want to deal with it, and they got Zillion.
I mean, Shield really didn't like Rammus. They even spelt out Ram. I don't know why they did that one. Aggression said also being taken away, but yes, Zillion through straight away for, is it Froggen or is it Nif again? That's the question. But it does mean Rise once again could be the hands of Save.
So I gotta say, once again, in the last matchup, Alliance caught Shield off guard. They picked Zillion early. It was a flex pick. They even said after in the interview, they were confused by this. They thought that it was mid lane. Alliance made the switch to support. So once again, flex pick starting out, Alliance trying to play that mind game.
Yeah, but we have to say in the last game, where it was Nif playing the Zillion, it wasn't the greatest performance. His build was very questionable. His ultis in late game didn't pay off for Alliance at all. We're going to have to see if he's playing it again, if he's changing up the build path, and also if he can be more clutch in these late game fights.
Well, wherever it goes, it's going to give Alliance this experience bonus that they can make a mid-game push with. And NaJin Shield have already locked in super late game here. So there's an opening. They've got this slump in the middle where Alliance can make a push. They kind of just have to go through that window now.
White Shield is definitely expecting to be able to do the same as they did against Alliance last time where they played. Fall a bit behind early game, but then come back through better vision control, getting the picks onto Alliance, and then get to late game where you have Tristana and Ryze, 2 of the best champions in the late game already, but they are going to be extremely weak in this mid game. Alliance can punish them. Aurelia was left open, the best mid-game top laner.
So this is what we were expecting from Alliance, and as you said, Shield are ready. They're just calling it. They're saying, okay, bring it at us one more time.
And what a shock. Shook goes for Lee Sin as well alongside him, so no surprises. The buddy system in action between Shook and Wicked. We'll see if it works out. I still really want to know. Is this Zillion, the fact that it snuck through is, I think it's really keeping NaJin White Shield guessing, but they are going to be able to have the chance to counter it.
Yeah, they've got the last pick this time around. They're not going to get fooled twice.
Yeah.
Not get fooled twice, but banning Rammus and give Sugar Lee Sin, that is very, very strange. You really respect this Rammus pick here from Sugar. It must be because they're not used to playing against it and just want to get it out of the way.
That's exactly it, yeah. I mean, if it's something you're just not used to, you've not practiced, you've never seen it in ages, then just take it out of the picture.
And Alliance right now, you're sitting on Aurelia for Wicked, comfort pick for multiple years, like ever since the guy became professional, and Lee Sin for Shook, his main champion as well. So you're giving some comfort picks over to Alliance here, who all are extremely strong in this mid game.
It honestly looks like...
Hey, got Janna!
Finally, Gorilla gets Janna. We'll see. He wanted to show this so long ago, bless him.
It honestly looks like Shield have something to prove here, and they're like, okay, you know, last time we made some mistakes, and we actually can play a much cleaner game against the same thing. So they let them have Aurelia again. They're letting them have Kog'Maw around here, another Trinity Force champion. So looks like they're going to try and weather that storm. And now, I do like Janna specifically against the Aurelia and the
love it.
So it's a really, really good counter pick. Plus, it is Like, finally, we get to see the innovator, Gorilla, with the Janet.
It is going to be a support, it seems. Will we see the Ahri locked in? Ahri worked so well for Froggen, of course, earlier on against Samsung Blue yesterday. We'll see whether Froggen can make it work against them.
Again, this is all mid-game from Alliance. Yes, okay, you do have a hyper carry for the late game, but Ahri and Aurelia is all about mid-game. Zillion support here. I do actually wonder if White Shield wants to lane swap, just to try and to delay the items here from Alliance here, and also make sure Save can get shut down by Shook and Wicked together in the top lane. So I wouldn't be surprised to actually see White Shield go for the lane swap here, and just try and delay this mid-game from Alliance.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I was gonna say that would be the reset comp of all reset comps. Katarina, Kha'Zix, and Tristana.
It's got a possibility, could work, but again, it does look like it's going to be Fizz. Still, a lot of thought on this one. They haven't locked it in yet.
So what we've seen the first 4 picks from White Shield is a very, very standard White Shield comp. They love to have a lot of kiting potential, love to have a lot of disengage, and then what they do, we talked about it in the Kaboom game. They push every single lane, they got the minions going, and then they start rotating between these lanes here, and you have so much disengage, and you have so much sieging potential that you can take down these towers, move to the next one, and just, if Alliance wants to fight, Janet's gonna say, nope, Monsoon, and you just run away, move to your next lane,
And
Something we also saw was Froggen probably builds the most tankiest Ahri we've ever seen.
Apparently it's his trademark. Never going to die on Ahri here. A lot of
It does the
resistance.
same on Anivia, actually.
It's very true.
I do like it again. It's going to go into double AP, so an early Abyssal Scepter is definitely going to pay dividends for him. I think the funniest thing, though, is this Goong sort of checklist of champions. Zed's banned, Ahri's taken away, so Orianna, there it is.
Again, we always talk about his small champion pool, but as long as one of them is open, he's going to perform. He's a great mid laner on these few champions he does play. Got the Orianna, one of his key picks.
Yeah, plus they have got this Tristana, so Janna plus Orianna shields now for that late game. This is going to be
Crazy strong fight.
This is such a scary, scary late game from Shield.
Yeah.
And again, it's all the shields that we just saw coming out for the AD carry. We just saw it with Samsung Blue, pretty similar. The only thing missing is the Kayle in the top lane, but who cares when Save gets on Rise? That's the greatest problem. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The game about to get underway. Alliance are 2 for 2 in the group. They really need a victory here over NaJin White Shield, who themselves are sitting pretty at the top of that table with a 4-0 record. The question is, which team came out ahead in the picks and bans? For you guys at home, send your votes to @LOL Esports and use the hashtag AllWin for Alliance or NWS win for NaJin White Shield, and we'll see who you think has the stronger lineup as the game gets underway.
So, since we are seeing, similar power curves for the teams this time around, let's go back to last time and remember, in the mid game, Shield were so diligent keeping up their vision even when they were behind, and that's how they got picks to get back in this game. They got picks, and the kills went to Tristana, which fed their late game. Now, the specific players I have to call out here for Shield, it's not just their support and jungler doing this work. Save cleared the most wards of anybody in that game. Every 2 minutes and 37 seconds, he was killing wards. So this guy, he's a carry top laner. He kills wards not only to put pressure on his lane opponent and make them play more defensively, but also in the mid game, he clears out wards so that he can flank around behind your team and surprise you and force the fight.
Again, White Shield, they are known for their vision control, for all the wards they place down to, again, make these fast movements between the lanes like they want to do, and always know where's the enemy team coming from, can we disengage, can we get out. In the last game, Watch was actually playing Lee Sin, and he plays a lot of wards compared to Shook, because Shook was on a Kha'Zix, if I remember correctly. Now, switch the roles here, so we're going to have the Sidestone for Shook, and we might see Alliance be able to have some better wards down, or more wards down compared to last time, where it was the reason they actually lost.
Alliance were keeping their eyes on NaJin White Shield, making sure they are in this still 2v2 lane. No switch going around for them, but they've got to be careful because it is going to be a leash for Watch, so they do have their jungler nearby, and there's a lot of vision in that bottom lane, of course. Those 2 wards placed by White Shield.
Simply to try and spot where the Alliance dual lane is going, because you can see the AD carry walk into lane. Obviously, he wants to go in and either freeze the lane instantly or fast push it if they expect it 2v2 for the level 2. And that's why they have the ward in here. So they spot it. They can see, okay, we're going to have standard lanes. Obviously, we keep talking about also Rise and Aurelia up in this top lane. Rise straight up one-on-one, can bully the Aurelia, but then the jungler joins in, and it's so easy for Alliance to set up a gank onto save.
Yeah, in this early game. Let's see how Wicked plays this. He's going to have to be fairly defensively. Jumping in to get the CS very quickly.
Well, you talked about this power that you could have on Rise early on. Remember, Wicked has played this comp as a save, no doubt, countless times in solo queue. Even over in Korea, we'll see how it develops. A lot of pressure early on from both solo lanes.
Yeah, and I want to talk about, in that top lane, how important it is for that side bush control for save, because the Rise in that matchup is trying to feed in auto attacks with his Q harass. That's why he also has warded this bush. He doesn't want Wicked to get control of those side bushes. Wicked doing a pretty good job, though. Takes that level 2 jump, shoves save back, and has to retreat again to the bush that doesn't have the ward in it.
And he can keep playing very aggressive because he started Flask, he has the health potions, so he want to trade potions with Save here, make sure he runs out of them, and suddenly he's out of sustain, and that will force Save to play more defensive, but for now they still have potions left.
Thing is, because Wicked goes in for these trades and he puts pressure on Save, the minions start attacking him and his wave pushes forward. So it makes him extend. And one of the key things for this Shield team is also communicating trinket ward timers to your jungler. Now, Save saw Wicked go down to the river and place that ward. All you have to do, these are very short wards, wait 1 minute, return up top, this wave is already pushed up, Rise can set up a gank. As long as they clear out the wave in time, Watch can control that top side.
Wicked needs to be careful up here because he had a lot of minions built up for Save already, and he's already behind in farm, so it's going to be a big lead for Save early on. And of course, as you just talked about, Wicked is very far in the lane. Seems like Watch. I'll look towards this mid lane here.
Gonna jump on him, instant flash, instant jump, and Froggen counteracted tower hit.
Look at
Going
Shook
through
though.
on Watch as well. Shook is making his move in towards that top lane. Watch is heading up here as well. You just talked about how he knows that ward's going to be disappeared. But Shook is ready to pounce.
Right, so they're counting on this. They pinged him moving up. Perfect counter gank from Shook. He gets into position. Now, can Wicked bait this into the bush?
Oh, he's going to draw him in there. He knows he's going to get spotted. Here comes Watch. Oh, they're not falling for this one. Or are they? In comes Shook on towards Watch. Is going to be the focus target. Can they get the damage down?
What a bait.
It looks like they will.
Can they get him? They got him.
There it is. First blood for Shook.
Such a nice play by Alliance here. You also see Shook. He connects his Sonic Wave onto Watch here, and then he waits for the flash before he activates it once again. Follow him and kill him.
This is why you never leave a lane after ganking it in vision of the minions. Watch, he brazenly ganks mid and then walks straight up the river. Alliance ping it out. It's so clear the route that he's taking for his next gank. Shook is there, perfectly set up counter gank.
And the last game between these two teams was the exact same deal. Watch, he tried to gank, and Shook was there for the counter gank. Watch was 0-3-0 in that game in the start, where Shook got all the kills, he had all the pressure here. So once again, he's reading Watch like a book.
You need to pay attention of the enemy's vision, how you leave the lane. I talked about, communicating where the trinket wards are. It's the same idea. Any sort of vision, you have to give away a false tell to the enemy. Act like you're heading out somewhere else.
And simply also just Shook realizing how obvious it is that there will be a gank in this top lane. He's up there once again, but there's a ward from Wicked this time around. So he's
Exactly.
gonna
And
play
that
safe.
opens up Shook again for another play.
Yes, indeed. In comes around. Gorilla
And
gets
that's
caught
good.
out. The bomb on his head. Shook comes in, gets himself a second kill, forces Zephyr away. And this is all going well once again for Alliance at the start.
Yeah, and Shook is really using this power on Lee Sin early game to just constantly go for the ganks. He has the mobility, he has the damage. Even if Watch was down in this bottom lane, even if they didn't know he was there, they could easily have gone for this one. Got the easy kill. Nice slow onto Gorilla as well to set it up.
Watch was smiling in Champion Select during that Rammus ban, but he is not smiling any longer. You give away Lee Sin, Shook makes you pay for it.
So, good start for Alliance, but we've been here before. We've been 7-0 up with a 7,000 gold deficit. It was Alliance that fell behind.
And look at this. The Lee Sin early mobility boots. This is complete snowball for your jungler. He wants to continue this ganking, continue to be everywhere on the map.
And we just noticed before here, he actually gave the Wraith Camp over to Froggen, who's slightly behind in the mid lane, had to use his flash, and Shook already picked up 2 early kills, so he doesn't really need the gold anymore. So give it straight over to Froggen, make sure he can catch up.
Exactly, he's trying to spread that money around because he got both of the last hits on the kills. He's trying to extend the sphere of influence. get that extra advantage from Alliance, spread it all over the map. He not only went top, but he went down bottom to help them out.
It's not done yet. Look up in this top lane here. Shook wants to go in again.
Ability boots coming in hot.
Gets on towards him, saves in trouble. He's not getting out of this one. He'll go down. It's Shook once again.
And we've seen it so many times. Aurelia into Rice. You can set up these ganks so easy. Shook can just walk up there, lane gang it. You cannot ward against it at this time in the game. And once again, connect the Q, wait for the flash, and then you kill him.
I love these types of games. It's 100% jungler this time around, and Shook is destroying Watch.
No Amumu though this time around, sadly for you. It's the Rammus bat. Who would have thought that one? Crazy stuff. Froggen gets himself the blue on there. If anyone's unaware what the hell that means, it means Kobe did used to, of course, main the Amumu back in
What a throwback.
pre-season 1, in fact.
Pre-season 1, yeah.
Yeah, a long way back.
I was a huge fanboy of Kobe, man.
Yeah, when you were back in your diapers. Watch him on the screen. Old man Kobe.
Div catching the bomb on Zephyr. Tabs is turning around the aggression. That's a lot of damage going down on him. The ultimate's coming out as well from Tabs. It's going to ping him very low, still at level 5.
I'm still not sure why White Shield wanted to have standard lanes here, because they knew Shook was going to be in this top lane. Try and punish save.
Oh,
and that's
oh!
top lane as well. Gorilla, he leaves and instantly Tabs just snipes Zephyr here. No heal used, no flash. I mean, right now White Shield is losing both side lanes.
That was brazen from Zephyr to just stand there. He got flash, he got healed,
That was
and he
terrible.
just stood there under the tower, absolutely confident. And Tabs is just like, well, if you're going to gift it me on the plate, I will take it.
What is going on here for Shield? Because straight from Champion Select, you know, they're giving all these things away. It seemed like they had something to prove. They are not proving anything this game.
Not at all. And again, the fact you don't lane swap, you know Lee Sin is going to be active early on, you know he can set up the ganks easily. And also, you want to have your Kha'Zix sitting and farming in the start. You don't want to go toe-to-toe with the Lee Sin. You could have gone toe-to-toe with the Ramos, but that's a different story.
And now he's got that sight stone. This Lee Sin is so far ahead right now. Shook is going to be able to control the entire map. Even though the wards right now are very sparse for Alliance, they have so much control. Shook can now start to extend that vision coverage.
Yeah, and again, the reason Alliance lost the last game was because they stopped warding properly. They kept losing it one by one. Gorilla, you might die.
Gorilla caught out, the bomb's on him, the Ignite's going to run. One more hit, is it enough? I don't think it is.
Oh.
Will take him low. Didn't get followed through. They knew that Watch was coming down, so they couldn't chase.
What an epic crumble. Looks like Shook is going into the enemy jungle
There's
right
no ward
now.
from Alliance in the river here. They need to be careful.
Yeah, Watch is going to come in. Zephyr's going to try and pounce. Could we see NaJin
Got
White
flash.
get themselves the first kill? If in trouble, has got his ultimate available. Chrono Shift goes on, gets just in tower range. That is going to work out well for them.
Meanwhile, though, Shook in this mid lane going for Goong.
Going in, Goong in trouble. Teleport goes down. He's already gone. Shook's going to try and run away. Save will give chase, but he is home free.
They've got to be careful. You do not want to keep taking
The
Shook.
teleport. The teleport completely wasted by Xavier. He tried to save his mid laner, but the charm landed from Froggen, and then Shook came in, quick Q, kick, and Q once again to kill him.
That means free turret up top for Wicked here. He's going to clear this minion away very quickly. He could even jump into the lane and cut off Save before he got to the turret.
And right now, Alliance, they can set up for Dragon as well if they want to. They have the teleport advantage. Save is stuck in the top lane right now. He's even delaying his Rod of Ages because he needs the early armor against Shook and Wicked.
They have every advantage in this game right now. Talk about an early game lead last time around. Alliance have such a clear path this time around. They got to make use of this push.
And there's not the same pick potential for White Shield as they had in the last game. There's no thresh for Gorilla here to just constantly punish Alliance for walking in and clearing the wards alone.
Look at the difference, the confidence. Froggen, he's rushing a DFG, I think. I'm not too sure. We'll see where he goes with that one. He has got himself, obviously went with the double ring and ward, but straight back this time around goes towards that. Shook's fine, save.
No
ulti. To
ulti.
land the Sonic Wave. Well, he hasn't got Wicked with near him either. That's the problem. Hasn't got that ultimate, so didn't want to go in. But even that's just keeping Save on his toes. Save's going to back. Hasn't got teleport, so if he leaves this wave, Wicked's going to get free time in that top lane.
Shook's already heading down. They've got pink ward coverage here. They're making the call. He's going to go back and find it.
Well, as soon as they see Save in this top lane, Alliance can just start the Dragon. They want to wait to see if he's actually running all the way down to this Dragon, because then you just keep Wicked farming in the top lane, and he can always teleport down. But Alliance, they know the late game scaling for White Shield is insane in this game here, so if it's an early DFG from Froggen, it's going to be great to keep snowballing your lead.
Alliance protecting a ward. What is going on? They
Unheard of.
really have stepped up their game in the last few days.
Yeah, we were talking with their coach, who was saying the reason we lost to White Shield was because we didn't bring a friend when we wanted to clear wards. We walked in alone. It simply meant White Shield could pick us off and get back in the game. This time around, Froggen instantly moved down to Shook, and now he's going up to top lane to his Danish buddy Wicked.
Oh, friends forever.
Froggen coming round. Can he manage to land that charm? It's not going to quite go through. Hasn't used it yet. Spirit Rush will be back up in a moment. There goes out. Just try and throw the orb out, but that's going to buy time in the top lane, and that could well be a tower down. NaJin White Shield trying to react here. They're going to try and draw the dragon out.
No, that would be a very big no-no for Shield. There's a teleport for Wicked. That would be a big, big no-no.
Watch knows he's got the support this time with his mid laner. Shook is on his own. So, first turret goes down. Alliance in control, and NaJin White Shield do go for the dragon.
Yeah, Safe is running from base here, but so is Froggen. And again, there's teleport on Wicked. It's going to be 4 versus 4.
There it is.
Coming in. Watch the
Teleport right in. Watch, it's going to be focused. Shook gets the spike down. They turn it off towards them. Gorilla's trying to run away. Shook comes in, gets him down. It's another kill for Shook. He's 4-0-1, and they get the dragon. Everything is once again going Alliance's way.
No, 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 as Monty would say. Whoa, Shield run into that comp. That was a pure trap from Alliance. There was no way they were coming out of it with that one.
Again, why did it even start? It Safe was running from base. He didn't have teleport, so he couldn't join in time. And they knew Wicked could always join in. NaJin White Shield, you have to wake up.
They're going to take the middle turret. They may even take the bottom turret. Everything just trembling right now. Alliance in full control. They have a 6,000 gold lead and a 6-0. It's one ahead in terms of gold of where they were before. Surely, to God, they can't throw this one away.
No, I mean, they must have learned from their mistakes last time around now. You have Sidestone on your jungle. Just spam wards now.
You say that, but look at the jungle. They don't have any deep wards here. The outer turrets are down. They don't have ward coverage over the blue side here. They even have an Ahri who's got a first blood here and is going towards that Deathfire grass. They have the ability to get picks inside the jungle, but the wards are in the river.
Right, so obviously we are still 14 minutes into the game.
Okay.
All the wards on the dragon here now. Go back, get some pig wards, and let's just see this fight again. Watch this tank and dragon taking a lot of damage.
Fight goes to...
We'll actually escape just in the very end here, but then Gorilla is just left for dead.
I mean, that Monsoon, if that not had gone off from Gorilla, that could have been a massacre. That could have been 3 or 4 kills there easily.
Safe was still running from base. I mean, he wasn't even there.
I mean, yeah, they tried to do it because Froggen was back in base, but teleport discrepancy there, all in favor of Alliance. Tabs was coming back from base already, so he's there.
Mid-game.
I mean, they're running into the double Trinity Force comp.
Look at this. All the pink wards for Alliance. They are learning, they are watching, they are adapting. Can they make use of the vision? That's the question.
Yes, and can they avoid running into White Shield and get baited by their wards like they did last time and get picked off? Again though, there's not the same pick potential from White Shield here. They pretty much only have a flash rune crystal from Safe to start a fight if they want to catch out Alliance. So as long as they stay together, or don't at least face check into these wards, they have some deep wards in or place a ward before they want to clear the current ward from White Shield, they should be safe. Still though, we have seen them lose games where they were very far ahead. It didn't happen long ago.
Just 2 days ago, that's all that was. Alliance, though, they are continuing their lead. Triforce was completed by Wicked, which is why he's still feeling so confident. And again, look at this. Nif comes up, Shook comes up, Froggen comes up. 4 members all piling in towards this top lane. Save is going to be the focus target, but this time around, NaJin White Shield do have friends themselves. The 280 carries, they're not involved in this. It's a 4v4 skirmish.
Right, Tabs is shoving up mid, so Alliance do get to swing from the top side. They can rotate a little bit quicker because they've got the inside lane here, and they can catch Shield off guard. Tabs getting some damage down on this turret. They're pulling sort of a Shield move against Shield, chipping off the top turret and then taking chips off the mid turret.
Yeah, they're fully focusing just on mid lane and top lane at the moment here, because down this bottom lane, Zephyr was pushing it before. He's actually staying. Once he shows himself, seems like Alliance though actually just want to back away because they know this bottom lane is pushing.
You know,
Taps,
Alliance can go for a dive. They have the Zillion and they have the burst.
They've left them. Look at this. 4 members of Alliance. They're going to pile on to Save. They've completely left them here. Alliance going to crumble straight around the side. Save actually focuses on Wicked, but he's just drawing him in. By time, the rest of NaJin White Shield have all gone to the mid lane. Suddenly they realize that I think they're going to back away from this one.
They waited too long.
And that's why all these pig wards are so important for Alliance, because look how in the jungle of NaJin White Shield, there's not a single ward for them, so they cannot see Alliance move between the lanes, and they walk down to mid lane, instantly turned around, went back up to top lane here, didn't actually manage to get the tower.
Really thought that they were just going to jump on that save and just everybody pile in to kill him instantly and then back out. But they waited a little bit long. They're playing it very safe. As we said, you know, Frog and he was making the calls in that last game. They want to play safe. They don't want to make any mistakes this time around.
They've got to be careful they don't sit around and play too safe and let save and get going and get their items and start getting that power on. They need to make use of the advantage while they have it, because while it is a 6,000 gold lead, it can easily fall away, and the more gold that gets accumulated, the less that advantage becomes.
All right, let's take tally here. 2 Trinity Forces done, Deathfire Grasp is done. This should be the point where Alliance push in. They need to crack at least the secondary round of towers right now.
And that's why every single member has gone back, bought some new wards. You have 4 pink wards already. You have a few on the map, but they can just change them. Dragon coming up in 55 seconds. This should be Alliance's Dragon no matter what. Just walk down, set up. If NaJin White Shield wants to fight, then Alliance can just engage onto them and should actually be able to kill them.
Wicked almost walking headlong into 4 members of NaJin White Shield, and I don't care how far ahead you are, you don't walk back out of that one. There is, of course, always that danger when there's an Orianna on the field of landing that big shockwave that can turn everything around, and they do have to be aware of this one. They're collapsing once again. They're trying to focus on Wicked, but it is drawing the entire team away when there's 20 seconds on that Dragon. They want to make that pick.
Yeah, but there was a good ward from Alliance here, spotting White Shield moving to top lane, and they've obviously just put up all the defensive wards now. They know they're going to need them. As soon as the Dragon is dead, Alliance can then move into the jungle and place their own. And then it's all about the pink wards. Can they deny a lot of vision from White Shield? And I'm just looking at Zephyr right here. I would actually love to see him just go pickaxe or BF sword and then complete a static shift first, just for some more wave clear, because Alliance wants to push up on these towers here, and he also has the Janna shield to get the extra AD.
Talking about the items, obviously the gold, the advantage that Shook has gained, being a 4-0 on these Sid, has he made use of the gold that he's earned in terms of items? Because you can see it's a, it's a 2,000 gold lead now over his opposition watch.
Because obviously Lee Sin doesn't really scale well into late game, so what Shook is doing is basically just building full tank from the start. So he's very, very tanky for 20 minutes into the game, and he got the early sidestone.
Yeah, so we talked about him trying to spread his advantage for the rest of the team with his mobility boots and his sight zone. The next step in that is to get the magic resistance aura. You're against the double AP again, so he's got already the Negatron cloak, and he can work towards the Aegis.
See how it goes for him. We'll see whether he gets that. Who wants to see, of course, the ability power items coming out of Nif, so we'll see how he builds that one up early on. Bottom lane, actually, we do see Tabs and Zephyr pretty close. Looks like they've just had a trade. Tabs' Buster Shot was used by Zephyr there, so flowing back on towards it.
Oh,
now
nice catch.
goes in, catches on Watch, pop goes to Watch, and he is down, and that's just the second kill of the game for Froggen now.
The thing is, Alliance just took everything on the map, all the neutral objectives. They took blue buff, they took red buff, they took dragon. So none of the waves are really shoved up to make use of this window where they got that pick. So even though Froggen got a kill on Watch, you know, NaJin White Shield, they're not panicking right now because they already had lost the entire map. All they're trying to do is wave clear and hold these turrets. Alliance, now there's nothing left on the map to distract them. They're shoving up towards turret.
But they're gonna need to pick more because everyone else was also back in base.
Yeah, everybody's back up now.
So now, kind of reset it. We need the ult to be ready for Froggen once again. And I just talked about Zephyr's items just before. We discussed Nif's item on Zillion the last time these two teams played each other. I'm still not convinced. I mean, I would actually love as well, and Mikhail's in this situation because Ryze with Flash Blueprint.
Oh,
is
there's
another pick though.
Gorilla caught out with a charm. He will get away though. The defensive ball from Goom comes out just in time. They don't go too heavy on this one. We are at that magical mark again. 7 kills, 7,000 gold. This is where Alliance started to wander aimlessly through the jungle into the arms of NaJin White Shield. This time around, Wicked going in on save. He may well have the damage to take him down. Save's going to run. He has got flash available. Is it going to be enough? Wicked forces him away, and that's going to free up the tower unless White Shield react.
Plus, this time around, Alliance have turned on all the street lights. There's nowhere for them to wander around in the darkness. They should be fine. Just close these two lanes. They're still split though, 1-3-1 split push here. They're not bringing tabs up, and that's a huge amount of power that they don't have with them.
Yeah.
Tristana is closing in on the static shiv, and that adds quite a bit more wave clear.
They want to have taps with the Trinity Force here to take down the towers with the Sheen proc every single time he moves in for it. So the towers are going down very, very slow so far.
And they could get collapsed on 4 versus 5 here. Tabs now heading up, okay.
Yeah, they can finally group as a 5. Wicked's been spending a heck of a lot of time in that top lane, dancing and holding hands with Save, honestly, because they haven't done a lot against each other, but he has built himself up a lead. But Save, he's just buying time, building up. Rod of Ages only just completed, Tear stacking out nicely, so it is going to become a problem if they let Save go. We've already seen the power he has with that rise, so Alliance, they can't stick around too long. They need to create pressure on NaJin Whiteshield, because right now, there's been nothing on them on the tower so far.
Yeah, as well also every single time Alliance go aggressive and force someone back to base, there's nobody else ready to actually punish White Shield somewhere else on the map or to go up and take the tower. Now finally, joining in with taps, and they can just take down this tower so fast. They need taps to be there to kill these towers.
So 4v4, they get the tower. Tabs finally
Go straight to the mid lane.
himself involved. Wicked now pushing back towards Save. They're going to group in the mid lane. I think Wicked may actually join his team, but you can see already Goon gets in there, clears that wave out quickly with the distance.
Again, with Tristana bottom, they can go for a dive. They have the Zillion, they have the they have the damage to quickly pull off a dive and then get back out. Everybody's mid, they can force this hard. Another blue buff spawns though, and they're taking that neutral objective.
Zephyr almost wandering aimlessly across the middle half of the jungle. Alliance were very much ready and waiting for that. Blue buff stolen away, that goes to Frog, and Wicked continues the farm in the top lane. I feel like Hotshot GG's playing right now.
They're playing slowly but surely, the safe game.
Yes, it is very, very safe. And what Zephyr is doing is he's constantly walking down, starts to slow push in the bottom lane, and then he leaves to the game because he knows, okay, Taps is going to walk down to this bottom lane, pick up the wave, start pushing it back to us, and that delays Alliance every single time.
Right, so there is this strategy. When you are behind and you have one line of turrets completely destroyed, when the minions of your enemy get to your side of the map, you can go create this spirit bomb of minions. If you go in and you just clear out the ranged minions and your melees just sit there, then they take a long time for your enemy's minions to kill, and your wave builds up really big and will start slowly pushing back towards your enemy. That giant pot of gold, Taps keeps going to pick it up.
This time around, there's a lot of pink wards still coming out from NaJin Whiteshield, but they're getting cleared every time they get placed. So the vision is being denied away from them. So they are very much blind trying to push out. But again, they keep just stretching out there. Goon knew he was a little bit safe, tested it with the ball, managed to sweep it out, but again, instantly replaced. Will they protect them? That's the question.
Again, Alliance want to have control of this jungle, but they can just sit 4 members in mid lane right now, Wicked up in top lane, and then Shook can walk from mid lane up to top, or Froggen can do it, and they can dive safe, kill him instantly before Whiteshield has time to react, and then the members in mid lane just step away from the tower a little bit, make sure you can always disengage. Because right now, Whiteshield is doing exactly what they can do and what they want to do. Buy time, keep warding your own jungle, and farm. Static shift now completed on your Tristana.
Another neutral objective spawns though. Alliance going to pick up the dragon. This makes me think that they're going to play this map so long that they're going to make use of the wards on red side and go for Baron before they try and crack more turrets.
Froggen just spirit rushing caught on towards Gorilla there. We do see NaJin Whiteshield coming around the side. He's going to go back.
got it!
Second trip this time around. He does get it down there. Dragons come down. The rest of Alliance collapse
Take the
up
fight
towards
line.
them. They can
Teleport in! Wicked! Cut them off!
Is he going to come around?
He's not...
Nope.
No
Playing
cut
it
off.
safe. Playing it
But you
safe.
already got a kill, and you know,
They can cut them
up
all
in top,
off.
you know you're a lot stronger here. You already got a pick. Just go straight forward. You have the Zillion. Speed yourself up. Get some more picks.
Man, they had the trap ready. It was just hung over shield right there. They didn't pull the trigger out though.
We do need to remember there are 2 components of CLG EU involved in this. So
Old habit
I'm
dies
very used to seeing them backing off when they have that advantage, playing it safe. But you can't blame them because this match means everything.
Yes.
Last time they kind of got caught out by rushing in a little bit recklessly and lost the game.
If this match means everything to them and they've got that clear play though, make the call. You got to be decisive.
Yes,
you got to.
exactly.
You have to pull the trigger there.
At this level here, it's not about playing it safe all the time. I mean, when you have the lead, it's what we see from some of the other teams, especially the Korean teams. When they have the lead, they close out the game. They know they can go for the dives. You have the Zillion here. You have the one-shot potential from Froggen. Wicked is insanely strong. You don't have to give White Shield so much time to sit and farm up.
They are. They're gonna do the Baron bait instead. Well, if they do that, then you better ward the heck out of this red side jungle. You need to ward much deeper here to see shield the whole way when they head up to Baron, and then make use of that Aria and get your pick. But man, they are not putting much pressure on the base.
Oh, instead, Froggen was looking to try and get a pick on Zephyr, and Goon reacts and covers him off there. Froggen will easily keep them away from this wave. And while this is happening, White Shield need to realize there's 4 members of Alliance that are sweeping out. Can they collapse on towards them? That's the question. Will they come around? Safe holding them off of the tower right now. Oh, Froggen caught, taken low by Zephyr. But the rest of Alliance, they're taking the top tower.
Yeah, so they actually tried to walk up to mid lane and then baited and stopped and waited for Froggen to
They caught out.
There's going to be a fight here.
They're going in, they're going to try and collapse on towards Tabs. He's the focus target. Watch jumps on towards him, but Watch is taken so low. He gets dropped. Zephyr needs to be the focus. Froggen comes around the backside of it, forces him away. Nif is the one that gets the kill. Goon caught out. We can see Shook follow on through. Lands the Sonic Wave, pushes on in there. Tabs gets himself a clean-up kill. And just like that, NaJin White Shield, they tried a risky maneuver, but Alliance made them pay, and they're gonna get the Baron.
Shield tried to force the fight in the side of the jungle that Alliance have completely warded, because they thought by chunking Froggen to half, then it was gonna be more of a 4 versus 5, but Alliance closed the trap. This is gonna be the Baron. That will give them the confidence to shut into the base, surely.
So if you don't get the pick yourself, if you're playing it safe, well, the fact that White Shield decides to start a fight, lose it, of course, because they are so far behind at this point. They're even weaker just looking at the champions. Great for Alliance. They finally get the Baron. They got the picks. Now you just need to push in their base, get inhibitor.
Hurt going down.
Wise choice here, Alliance. They didn't back. They knew they still had that advantage, and they do push in and get that final inner turret. Save risky business, actually, off of the side there. He was just taking a peek towards that blue buff to try and sneak in, but Alliance not allowing any buffs to go their way and keep full control of NaJin White Shield's jungle.
Yeah, 4 members from Alliance now with a lot of goals. You got a tower, you got a Baron. They're still pushing because White Shield actually spread on inside. They're expecting Alliance to back off, and instantly, boom, into the jungle, warded up once again. We want to have defensive wards. Alliance stayed around.
You don't even need wards in the jungle anymore. Forget about the rest of the map. Shove in on the base.
Oh.
There's no dragon, there's no Baron.
White Shield do need the wards though in the jungle, which was
what happened just before. White Shield.
Yeah. Alliance were just going to stop them from putting down the ward.
4 members of Alliance just got Drew up the top there. They thought Zephyr was going to push in. That's wasted a lot of time on that Baron buff, actually. And Alliance were not quite on the right page there. It does give NaJin White Shield a minute ticking off that Baron buff, and it seems, despite all that gold they've got, not one of them wants the back.
And once again for Alliance, every single time they go back to base, a lot of new pink wards being picked up here, so they can simply take the ones in Baron now, move them further into the jungle here, deny all the vision from White Shield, and then they can start moving around the base. But we have to talk about the champ select from White Shield. We mentioned it, how this is a very, very late game focused comp. And they lost the early game to Alliance last time, managed to come back because of mistakes from Alliance. Good play from White Shield. This time around, they've really been punished by the fact they picked such a late game comp.
Save tried to sneak out. He pushed that bottom wave down. Alliance, still Froggen and Tabs sitting on over 2,000 gold right now. They had neither of them backed during that entire play. They're going to wait and try and just burst straight a big item. Can Tabs churn down? One thing Tabs is not afraid of doing is hitting the tower. He will have the support. Shook comes in and shields him off there. And they keep on pressuring. They get the charm down. Doesn't quite land. Watch just pounces away from that one. And again, they don't quite get the hits on. They've got another wave coming in. NaJin White Shield holding on by a needle thread. There's a good shockwave. Nif taken low. Chrono Shift used. Not required, but that's going to be Alliance backing off.
Chrono Shift down. Spirit Rush down. Uh-oh, they've been shoved off the turret. Even with Baron buff here, regen. Recalls coming out from Alliance. Shield stand secure. They keep the inhibitor line of turrets up. That's what they need to do for another 10 minutes at least.
Look at Tabs here. Banshee's Veil is his 3rd item in the game, simply because he knows there's so much magic damage on the side of NaJin White Shield, And him getting tanky is actually even better for him to snowball and make it even harder for White Shield to actually go and kill him in these fights. So he has enough damage compared to Zephyr at this point already.
It's one thing we argued actually for Reckless earlier on in the day, whether he should have gone for that Guardian Angels instead of that 6th attack damage item instead. Didn't work out for him. We'll see whether tabs going from the Banshee's Veil 3rd item slows anything down for them. It's a risky play, and it's not the first time he's gone for defensive items that 3rd pick.
The wave clear is just getting better and better for Shield, though, as this game goes on. I mean, Oriana's got plenty of AP now. Tristana's got plenty to back up his static.
He's going to get him before he can back here.
Oh.
Wicked's coming in, Froggen's coming in.
Pick!
If they can find that pick on save, it will open things up because the bottom wave, you can see they're shoving in. But look at the burst save has now. He took Froggen pretty low there in a straight-up 2v1 brawl. But Alliance, they have their opportunity. They're pushing the bottom wave and the top.
And only Wicked used his ulti there. Froggen saved this because he knows he's gonna need it here for a potential pick in the base of White Shield. 5 members from Alliance now pushing into the base. This is the time where they break in and get the inhibitors.
Well, we'll see if they do, because last time around
they
drawn
should.
away quite well. They are going to rotate towards the top half. That is going to be Froggen, Wicked all pushing in. They need to get the middle wave, it seems. That's where Tab's going to head off, so they're not going to shove yet. That's going to be, what, 18 seconds?
That's not decisive enough. You can dive the top lane here, 5 members.
Guys, you don't need all 3 waves shoved up at the same time. They had top and they had bottom.
And you had Zillion
They could have chosen either one, 4 versus 5, but they don't push it. Now everybody's grouped up. Save is back alive. This wave clear, they've got Oriana, they have the static shift Trist, they've got Janna shielding the turret and throwing through the tornadoes for knock-up. Well, they've missed their power play.
Wicked needed another item, it seems. He went back to buy, so... more amount Warriors picked up by him and Alliance. When they get that pick, they create that opportunity. They do, of course, have the advantage. Baron buff had worn off, so maybe that was why they just didn't feel like risking it. That's going to be up in 2 minutes' time. 11-0. 16,000 gold lead for Alliance at the 34-minute mark in this game. Risk averse is absolutely what Alliance
it's off the chart
playing right now.
And Save, who had the very late Rod of Ages, it is fully stacked now. His tier is fully stacked as well, so he's been hitting his late game point on this rise.
There's still a massive lead here for Alliance.
Of course, Alliance is still very, very far ahead, but they need to use it.
The irony is, when all 4 members of NaJin White Shield are all there with every ability available, Alliance decide to try and step in and get some hits on the tower. Ooh, Goon caught out, Shook fancied it, didn't go for it. Did not pull the trigger, has that ward ready and waiting to try the kick, try and force him away. Wicked gonna keep on pressing. Middle lane, pressing in. They're gonna try a 4-1 split, see if they can make it work, which is gonna be so hard because Save has that ultimate. He can just burst it down. They're gonna jump on Save, they're gonna die for it. Wicked with that ultimate, dashes back out, gets caught with the blade surge. The Rune Prison catches him just in tower range.
And the wave is gone.
Minion wave coming in, Save comes in, boom. As you said, not a single shot the tower.
Yeah, Alliance needs to wait for this Baron now spawning very, very soon. Set up for the Baron. Get it again. If White Shield wants to come out of the base, you take the fight, you kill them, you win the game. If they stay in the base, get the Baron. And honestly, if you cannot get a pick, I mean, this situation...
Have they waited too long? That's the question. Have they left
obviously they have. They should have finished this game over 10 minutes
They
ago,
had a 4 versus 5 power play, and they shoved mid lane instead.
Well, even then, just, you know, when they had the big gold advantage, because you already saw Save is getting stronger and stronger. He can take Wicked now. Wicked was pounding on him, did next to no damage because they've both got that frozen heart in there. Goong has shown with that shockwave he can almost 100-0 the likes of Nif if he gets hold of them. So this in itself is a risky play, but you can see White Shield, they're pushing the base, you can't get involved, it will be an Alliance Baron, safely done.
Exactly, and now we just need to look at Froggen. If he can land a charm on the tower, Alliance can still go for the kill, get the fight, even on the target. They have the Zillion ulti to save them. And that's what they're going to need, because we see how fast the waves are being cleared by White Shield every single time now. Froggen needs to land a charm.
Well, he's a charming fellow, so we'll see whether it works out.
I mean, he's Danish, so pretty obvious.
I still can't get past the old man look that he has in that opening trailer. Goom comes around, keeps the waves pushed out. Everybody from NaJin White Shield will force all 3 lanes out. And of course, Alliance, everybody went back to buy this time. Everyone got Baron, everyone spent all of their gold. They stacked out the items. QSS picked out by Froggen. Everything stacking up. Is this enough? for Alliance to finally pull the trigger. We will see.
Well, they got a couple lanes to shove first. Gotta get all 3 shoved again. Let's see. Baron buff ticking away.
So they're going to shove it bottom wave. You can see Wicked, he goes up towards the top wave. Froggen's going to try to find somebody. There is a sneaky ward that Gorilla's managed to put, which will...
Save can teleport behind here for the flank. If Wicked is sitting in the top lane, Save can come in there.
That's exactly what OMG did to Fnatic. Now, of course, that was a lot further in the game. We're not quite at the 65-minute mark yet, but it is still a possibility with those wards just down around the side. But Tabs is getting a lot of free time to pound down. There's the teleport. Save has to use it on the tower to protect it.
So they teleported on the minion to get some more power shots here, making that minion invulnerable. They took it down to half.
Jeff has gone out. Is it going to be a
Kick him away! 1, 2, shot! Will he get to the bounty?
They got the turret,
The
though.
tower!
No, didn't get the turn.
Damn tower!
Damn!
Oh, the shield! I don't even need to say it anymore.
please!
Do it for me. Please survives with next to no health. And again,
Come on, one hit.
They got this. They're not giving up.
But
If that
Zephyr's
first
back.
few don't succeed, try again.
Zephyr's back, they're going to go in. There's the tower hit they need. It's Froggen that takes it. Zephyr, risky coming out there. The Charm just flashing past his face, doesn't catch on towards him. Can they get the inhibitor? That's the question. They need to crack this nut. They got the tower down, but they need to finish the job off. They need to take the inhib. There we go.
Alliance sure is making this very exciting.
Not sure that's the right word, but they are certainly making it a tough task to get in there.
You gotta work on your English more.
This could be a second to fall very quickly. And NaJin White Shield, they know they've got to make a play here. They're going to run out. Save uses the ultimate, wipes out the wave, catches on towards one. Tabs takes a hit, but that turret is falling fast. Wicked in there. Are they going to go deep? They got him again! Now he goes down. Froggen gets himself the kill. Save comes around. Chrono shift on Wicked keeps him safe. Then tower goes down. And Alliance push on through against NaJin White Shield's face.
Say it louder. I don't think I heard you.
Alliance are going to push on through. Can this be the end? They've got 2 members down right now, NaJin White Shield. They're hanging on for dear life. The Charm goes down on Gorilla. The Shockwave misses. And NaJin White Shield look like their impeccable record will fall here as Alliance strike revenge back on them and claim second spot in the group. The pressure very much will be on Cloud9 tomorrow. Alliance do it. They take down NaJin White Shield.
All right. They also
That was a perfect game.
They also didn't lose any turrets or
No rights, no turrets, no kills for White Shield.
Right.
It was slow by Alliance, but they played it safe. And once they got the second Baron buff, they just walked in there and destroyed White Shield. Perfect game.
The #1 European team finally shows up and delivers and takes down the Korean #3 seed. And wow, what a turnaround. It's still 4-1, of course, for NaJin White Shield, but now 3-2 for Alliance. After such a terrible start in the groups, going 0-2, they've managed to swing things around in their favor. Can they go one step further? Tomorrow is such a big day for Cloud9 now because the pressure is very much on their shoulders.
But man, I mean, this performance by Alliance in the early to mid game again, like last time against White Shield, so dominant. Shook, you ban Rammus against him, he picks Lee Sin and he just destroys you. There was no response from White Shield at all.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back to that early, it was all about the jungle matchup here. Watch giving away his route that he was going. Shook with a very good counter game. Then immediate buy into mobility boost against the other lanes, gets everybody ahead. And that's what the perfect game looks like for the beginning. They, they rolled straight on through from that early advantage.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, of course. Cloud9 and Alliance, they do need to face Kaboom tomorrow. It is still a possibility they could lose there, but they are strong favorites in that one, which in itself puts a gigantic amount of pressure on Cloud9 because they now may have to go out tomorrow and beat NaJin White Shield. We've just seen Alliance do it in strong, confident format, so the path has been open for them. They know how to do it. Alliance were very close the first time around. The second time absolutely made it count, and as you said, a perfect game.
We've got the makings of a three-way tiebreaker.
Oh, yes.
Now.
Oh, we do.
Yeah,
that
so
could be fun.
if White Shield lose to Cloud9, we're going to have to tie between all the teams.
And everybody,
Scary,
and they beat
scary
Kaboom.
stuff.
There's a-
And obviously they have to beat Kaboom, yeah, and then we have the three-way tie.
Basically, what we're saying is tomorrow could be a very long day because tiebreakers play out after
But
all 6
with
matches go
fantastic
through.
games. With fantastic games.
Absolutely. It happened in Taipei. It could well happen in Singapore. Of course, if there were any jaw-dropping moments that stood out from that match, and there was a couple, I think, in there, send them to @LOLesports and use the hashtag #WorldsBigPlays. What a fantastic match to end the day. And we've had some absolutely outstanding games here in Singapore today. For now, though, we're going to go over towards Quickshot and the analyst desk to take a closer look at that one. Double lift. Have a grin on yourself.
Thank you very much, T-Man. Fact of the matter is, it's not World's Big Plays, it's Shook Big Plays. Number 1, do not give Shook Lee Sin. He destroyed Kaboom, he destroyed Shield. Number 2, don't give Wicked Aurelia. He delivers. Yes, they beat it last time, but he still had a strong performance. Monty, before we get to replays.
You can't say enough about Shook's play that game. It was absolutely incredible. It's so rare in the professional scene, especially at a game at Worlds, to see someone snowball all 3 lanes like that. Just amazing.
Well, you know what? You've set it up. Let's pull the montage up onto your screens because, as I said, I think we're going to rename this the Shook Analyst Desk for the next couple of minutes. Roll the clips out, and analysts, how on earth does Shook go from not delivering another champions to being just godlike on this Lee Sin?
Well, I mean, in that first one, you don't use your E as watch to engage right there. You don't know where the jungler is. It's just a bad play.
Next play, Freak, bottom lane, 80 carries.
I like the flash slow that came in from Nif, the confidence everything's going to land. Just lands a flash time warp just to make sure it hits.
All right, back up to the top lane. Once again, making Saves life just a little bit difficult. Where's Shook on the minimap coming in? I think by this point he's got those Moby boots. And again, just near flawless execution.
This is really great by Wicked as well. He gets the reset on his Q. W Qs Sheen first to kill a caster minion. Perfect.
All right, let's see. What's next on our montage? Oh, this was the mid lane play. Probably.
Yeah, Froggen gets a nice wave in the turret and is able to get a charm before Shook gets in. So it's just a super clean kill. And they both get out from a tower dive with the 80% HP.
What's even more impressive is it doesn't end there because I think we got the Dragon play next.
He just doesn't miss any of his skill shots. Look at that again. Nearly max range Q. Coming in right there.
That knock-up onto Janna was the reason why it just went so well. She couldn't ulti fast enough because she was knocked up by the Lee Sin ult. Just so good.
I mean, okay, so we actually had to cut the montage short. There were more plays, but that was all prior to 17 minutes into the game. We do need to give Shook another massive props. Let's actually take a look at the quick MVP graphic that we've put together for his Lee Sin performance, because truthfully, this game, this perfect performance, was on Shook's shoulders.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He's not going to get that champion again.
Well, we keep saying that. Like, I don't understand the teams at Worlds who aren't doing their research properly. Like, we're saying, oh my god, Gorilla should never get Thresh again. Oh my god, you can't give Shook Lee Sin clearly. Like, the fact that they banned Rammus, like, you saw him pick Rammus because Lee Sin was taken away. Like,
hey,
I don't understand.
I didn't have a problem with the Rammus ban. If you don't want to deal with that, if you're not comfortable practicing against it, it is a pocket pick. There's no problem. I have a problem with the Maokai ban. When there's Aurelia on the table. All of Alliance's wins so far have come with Aurelia. Take it away from Wicked.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll get back to this discussion and why it's relevant in a moment, because we are going to check in with Shox, who's standing by with the member of the Victorious Alliance.
Thank you very much, Quickshot, as I'm joined here by Nif, hot off that win over NaJin White Shield. Still very excited. Talk me through the beginning and the game plan, knowing that yesterday you had the makings to beat them. What comp did you guys come up with?
Well, it was kind of similar to yesterday. So we had Cillian first pick. It was pretty much the same. And then we went into our go-in comp with Aurelia. And we decided to put Cillian on support again. And this time we could actually finish the game. And I think it had a lot to do that we were kind of nervous yesterday. And this was cold. So we're kind of uncomfortable. And today it's warm. And everyone was us really motivated to win. And we could make it through.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go a little bit more in depth about that window. First off, tell me about the early game in Shook. Did you guys even realize how fast he was making those plays? Because it was unreal.
Yeah, he is really good on Lee Sin. It's like his best champion ever. And he's really good at making plays. He's really good at ganking top lane. But we also made a play bot lane when I slowed the channel and we got a kill. It's like really good for us. So we could snowball the bot lane as well, not like in the other games where we were rather equal farmed.
Tell me about playing versus Gorilla's Janna, because obviously he wanted to show the world his Janna play. It was good, but you guys seem to have an answer for it.
Yeah, I think he just picked it because he wanted to pick it. Pretty much what that I picked Chandler yesterday as well. I was like, yeah, I just want to play her, even though it wasn't the best pick. I think we had a stronger lane, and we could just take advantage of it.
Then talk me through, obviously you build up that huge advantage as you did yesterday, and then it creeps into your mind, we have to hold on to this. So what adaptations did you make in the mid game to make sure you got it around this time? It was really slow.
Yeah, I think we just didn't feel really good at the beginning of the tournament. We had some problems at the end of the boot camp, and I think we overcome those problems, and that's the alliance we have trained for the whole year, and that's what they want to show the world, that we can beat the best.
All right, how much did your experience from the beginning of the EULCS help here? Because it was also a slow start for you guys in there, and then you became the champions in Europe.
Yeah, it's kind of similar what happened. We lost a lot at the beginning, and then we overcome it. And then eventually we got first, so is that a good sign for us?
I think that is a good sign. Looking ahead to tomorrow, you of course have to beat Kaboom and then see what happens in the rest of the group. What do you think your chances are to get first?
It's all in Cloud9's hands, so let's hope for them to make it a draw, and then we can show again how good we are, and then make the win. So it's like our only chance to get first, but it's good for us anyways.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Fantastic game. Thank you very much, Nev. All right, we're going to send it back over to the desk as we close out day 3.
Thank you very much, Shocks. Right, let's actually talk a little bit more serious about the game. It was a perfect win. Alliance come in there, they don't give up a tower, they don't give up a dragon, they don't give up a kill. They take down the number 3 seed from Korea, I think surprising everybody watching, except for 57% of the viewers who sided with Alliance. And this man, who has taken the profit thing, so double of
crumbs.
Talk to me about the game. I mean, we know it was just a huge individual performance from Alliance, but they also had the strategy to back it up.
It really makes me, it comforts my doubt that Alliance is really just a team centered around Froggen, which it was originally, but this game, Froggen was actually the only person on Alliance who was losing lane early. Actually, Wicked was super far ahead, Shook was super far ahead making those plays, and you saw Tab solo kill, or sorry, not solo kill, but 2v2 kill Zephyr with no outside help. That was insane. And Froggen was struggling a little bit mid until Shook made that play with him. So it just goes to show, it's not just the Froggen show.
Yeah, I actually really like that Froggen was behind early, and what happened is he never died, and he never got chunked too hard. And when Shook was approaching mid lane, he actually pushed aggressively, and right when Shook came in, he had minion advantage, and he was able to get a charm. So instead of just kind of like, maybe like going for the 1v1 kill, like, you know, the hero play, he didn't go for that. He went for the safe play, wait for my jungler to get there, and then take the 100% kill.
And what I like about the Froggen play in general, he's talked about it actually in his prior game today as well. He said, in that game at least, in the interview, he said he wasn't focusing as much on his individual play. He was focusing on the shot calling, on getting his team into a good spot and not trying to do as much himself. And it is always hard to multitask focusing entirely on your lane, which is someone like Xiao will do, where he is silent the entire game and he focuses on the 1v1s, or someone like Froggen, who's looking around the map saying, oh no, we can make this play, let's set up for Dragon, checking the timers, and not just looking at how do I beat up Goong in this mid lane.
Now, talking about this matchup, I mean, NaJin White Shield, they came in there. Was there ever a chance they could have pulled it back? I personally felt there was some scaling, some late game power that could have come in there. Monty, from your viewpoint, could they have done anything different?
Well, I mean, they could have not played so cocky, especially in the top lane on that first gank. They just didn't have the vision to make that kind of play. Watch kind of messed it up. If he had had his E up, he could have gotten out of that. And, I mean, Ryze was winning up in the top lane by a pretty significant CS lead early before that gank occurred. So they had some nice things going for them. But when we talk about even with all these like big scaling champions like Wari, like Ryze, like Tristana, when you get that far behind, they did an admirable job of defending, and Alliance was not the best at closing. We were kind of questioning Tabs' split pushing on Kog'Maw in the bottom lane, but there's a point of no return. An 18k gold down, I mean, that's not tenable.
Yeah, but talking about cocky play, Watch just ganked mid from the top side and then disappeared into the top river and then immediately went top. Like, that's fine, but it's also really predictable. You can't gank a top laner using your escape going in, going, they don't know I'm coming up top. It was
Lisa's not going to counter gank.
Final thoughts before we move on, Monty?
Yeah, and this is the question that I had, because in the Korean regionals, Watch was very, very good, but I have never seen him play that well before. And my question was, can Watch sustain this level of play? And through these first two games from Alliance, the answer is really no. He's died multiple times in the early game every time. He needs to get his act together if he wants to go far in the playoffs.
There is a whole lot of pressure on tomorrow's games. We'll see where the standings are after 18 matches have been completed from the Singapore group stage. So there are the results on your screens. First and foremost, no team has guaranteed a first place finish yet. Because of the fact that there are so many tiebreaker scenarios, we were initially going to run through them with you, but there's so many, it's a bit difficult to keep up. So what we're going to do is explain what happens in the event of a tiebreaker. So if we have a three-way tie tomorrow between any three teams in either group, a single round robin will be played. If the teams are still tied after that round robin, there will be a single elimination bracket where whoever won a game in the round robin tiebreaker would get a bye, and the remaining two teams would play that single match to determine who would play the team that got the bye, meaning a total of 5 additional games. In the event of a 4-way tie, which is likely, the teams will be randomly drawn into a single elimination bracket. The winners of the first round in the bracket will then face off in a final match, obviously the winner of that match gaining the top seed into quarterfinals, while the loser of that match will take the bottom seed in the quarterfinals. That's in the event of tiebreakers. There are 6 games tomorrow to determine just how many we have. There are European teams in this matchup, meaning tiebreakers are very likely.
Yeah, point of clarification on the three-way tie, by the way, is the team that won the fastest is the one that gets the bye there. Obviously, if it's 2-0, 1-1, 0-2 in the round robin, you've got the automatic seeding. 1-1 down the line, the fastest win is the one that gets the bye, and then the other two play in to get that the ranking.
Seeing what we've seen from today's game, seeing Fnatic deliver, seeing Alliance really step up, taking down both Cloud9 and NaJin Shield. Are we expecting tiebreakers, Monty? I mean, your rose-tinted goggles, do you think we're going to see a few?
Probably in Group C, or maybe in Group C, probably not in Group D would be my anticipation.
Well, we'll have to see. Let's take a look at those 6 matches that will be coming your way tomorrow with those possible tiebreakers that we've mentioned in mind. So the day gets underway with Kaboom taking to the Rift against Cloud9. After that, North American squad LMQ will challenge Samsung Blue, followed by Kaboom once more, returning to the Rift against Europe's Alliance. There is a lot of games tomorrow. They will begin Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Central European Summertime, which is 11 p.m. in the Pacific time zone. And I think just before we actually end off, I do want to add just a couple minutes just to talk about today's games, because I think they deserve just a little bit extra kick. I mean, Fnatic losing to OMG dramatically, Alliance beating Cloud9, Fnatic, bouncing back to decimate LMQ. Prolly, what was your favorite moment of today's games?
Just the reinstitution that EU mids are really freaking strong. I really like having those kind of idols out there and seeing Peke and Froggen do their thing again and putting themselves as this is what we can do. It's really nice to see that.
Monte Cristo, what stands out of your mind?
I think it's really fun that we had kind of one day in this group that was all about North America, and then now we have this day that's really all about Europe, and it's now just coming down to the wire as a result. So can these European teams keep up these hot streaks, or will NA bounce back just like Europe did into kind of the second and third days?
I want to bounce off Double Lift. Do you feel that EU teams have a higher skill and team ceiling than North American teams based on what we've seen so far?
Based on what I've seen so far, yeah, actually. I changed my mind because the first day, NA teams were 4-0. I was on that hype train. But now I've seen Alliance and Fnatic, they really adapt so quickly, day to day. And today, it just really impressed me.
Now, Freak, is it a consistency issue that's going to be the only thing holding EU back?
Consistency was definitely a big thing. I mean, Fnatic, their best versus their worst was so far different. I mean, very much night and day. But to me, my favorite moment actually was sitting here on the desk with you guys and also Crepo and Crumbs. But the fact that we're oh my god, he didn't ult the Nexus. No, oh no, Soaz, oh my god, 1 hit. That's amazing, right? I didn't get to watch the XPK backdoor a year and a half ago with people around to high five when stuff happened. And similarly, all those shook gangs, it's nice having people to yell with. Yeah. If you guys aren't watching League of Legends with friends, do so. I don't care if it's on Skype or if you're doing it at a bar or something. It's a really fun social game to watch.
I completely agree. I was screaming. Crepo legitimately broke the chair that we are sitting on because he jumped up and snapped it. Anyways, that does it for today. I think today has been the single most incredible day of League of Legends in an extremely long time. I cannot wait for tomorrow's matches. I'd like to thank all of our guest analysts as well as all of you guys for joining us on this incredible day and tuning in. So from myself, the entire World's Broadcast team, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow or tonight or whenever it is that those bloody minions spawn. Cheers, guys. We're halfway through the Singapore group stage. Quarter-final hopes are still alive for every single squad.
So is in between them, but they're going for Yellow Star. Second man down, make that third and fourth. Peke will fall. It's an 8 for OMG, and that's going to be the game.
Can't deliver any more damage. They pick up 1. They pick up 2. They're on the balls now with the Pedva pulverized.
We have had some insane games today.
Cyanide and Peke both closing in. There's the slow. Xiao Xiao goes over the wall. Reckless comes in and gets the pentakill.
The pentakills, man. Dan's taken so low, he's aiming at dropped it. One more shot, there's the triple. He continues through, gets himself the quadra kill. They have so much push potential.